Hi guys, I am so excited to be sharing this video with you guys. For those of you who don't know or who haven't been following me on Instagram or Facebook, my name is Amber. I'm a life coach and kind of just wanted to connect with you guys through YouTube. So I'm going to start off really simple today. I'm really excited about the topic that we're going to be discussing today. So let's get started. Okay guys, so I have my little notes here so that I don't get off track. It's easy for me to do that when I'm passionate about what I'm talking about. So if you guys want to see all of the information, this is actually one of the first blogs that I posted on the website, www.ambientgrowth.com. I will make sure there's a link in the description box for that, or it should pop up on the screen somewhere. But this is what it looks like. This is the mobile version. So I'm going to be going from here so that I don't lose track. But you guys can go there and you can see the blog in its entirety so that you can read everything. And so we're going to be talking about employing your life. And I know that sounds crazy and bizarre, but especially after I had children, I think I found that I was wasting so much of my time before I had kids. I talk about this all the time about how before you sort of have children, you can come home and take naps in the middle of the day. You can just sort of waste your time, and you don't really realize how much time you're wasting until something larger, not just children. So if you don't have children, don't think I'm saying that you don't have a life. But once something larger comes into your life that occupies so much of your time, in retrospect, when you look back, you can see how much time you were wasting doing nothing. I cannot tell you the countless amount of hours I probably spent watching TV or scrolling on my phone. And so I really wanted to address the concept of employing your life. Our whole lives we are taught that you have to work, you have to make money, you have to progress in life in some way. And so since we're young, we're taught, get a job, do something, find out what you want to do. I kind of want to look at it from a different perspective. What if instead of trying to employ ourselves with a specific job, which is very important, let's not get that mistaken, but what happens if we chose to employ our life? That speaks to finding purpose in our lives. That speaks to finding out what about our lives matters and what's really important. So as we go through these things, I want you guys to keep in mind that every single morning that you wake up is an opportunity to utilize these things in your life. Every single morning I live my life by the motto of every single interaction we have with someone is an opportunity to learn something and an opportunity to teach something. So every day you can make a different choice, and you can choose to utilize these techniques or you can choose not to. So the first one is empathy. Empathy is, I think, really underrated in a way because it's difficult. Empathy is a difficult concept to employ in your life because it requires so much of ourselves. It can seem like a job sometimes. You don't always feel like being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes, but it's really, really critical in being able to live a full life. And why is that? It's because empathy is really the root of everything that is positive. It's based in love and compassion. It's really difficult to empathize with someone and be selfish at the same time. You have to look externally. You have to look outside of yourself. You have to be able to really hear someone else's heart. So, and hear me when I say this, success, true success can only be reached, whatever success means to you, when you're truly able to open up to hear someone else's heart and to truly listen. It's difficult to listen when you're assuming that you know what the other person is going to say. It's difficult to listen and really feel someone else's heart when you're incapable of understanding in a way that goes just beyond you shaking your head and saying, yeah, no. True empathy is absent of self. You shouldn't have to be able to say, I went through that, so I understand. The goal is, anyway, not you should be, but the goal is to be able to hear another person's heart, hear their struggle, hear whatever information they're giving you, and see it from their perspective without making it not okay that they feel that way or think that way because you don't think that way. That's what empathy is really all about. And when you look at all of the really prominent leaders who society would say are leaders, what made them great was not necessarily all of their accomplishments. That's what we know them for. But if you look at the root of what made them great, it was their ability to empathize and listen to other people. People want to feel heard. They want to feel like someone understands them. They want to feel like there's someone there to support them. And you can't support someone truly without empathy. Okay, so that's number one. So, and another important thing about empathy, I'm sorry I'm going back, is that I found that when you're truly empathizing with someone, chances are you're going to learn something about yourself. I can't tell you how many times when I've removed myself from a conversation, in reflection, I found things out about myself that I did not know before. Some things that I liked and some things that I didn't like. That's the only way to grow. And so once you're growing, now your life is moving somewhere. Now your life is employed. Your life is going somewhere because you're growing, you're changing, you're adapting to life, you're experiencing people in a way that is not just self-serving. Okay. The second thing is make to-do lists. Now, I want to encourage you because I know everyone has opinions about to-do lists and some people hate them and some people say that it makes them feel more overwhelmed. And I actually used to be like that. Sometimes it's still like that for me. So this is a journey. It's not all going to be perfect. But the key to-do lists really is to keep it simple. And I know you may have heard that before, but maybe no one's ever told you how to do that, because you can find yourself becoming overwhelmed with one to-do list, right? You either look at the to-do list and you're like, I can't do all of this, or midway through the day you've only gotten 2 or 3 things done on your to-do list and you're like, I have 50 other things on this to-do list to do. I'm not going to get all this done. And so then you're anxious. Depending on your personality, maybe you're getting down on yourself because you haven't finished a task, which I'm sort of task oriented, so I know how that feels. It's like, God, I had 10 things on this to-do list today and I only got 2 of them done. I'm a failure. But it doesn't have to be like that. So one of the things I can advise you of is when you make to-do lists, if you find yourself getting overwhelmed with to-do lists or with one to-do list, is to make several to-do lists. So if you have a journal or if you have a notebook that you write in every day, make a separate page for every day of the week. So let's just say you did this on a Sunday and you knew you have a lot of things to do during the week. Prioritize that list as if it were going to be one big to-do list. So prioritize the things that you need to get done first, or if you know you have to get things done on certain days, you can go ahead and assign that. But according to priority, so on Monday, take the first, let's just say you had 7 things to do throughout the week. So on Monday, take the first 3 things that you're planning on doing and just focus on doing those on Monday. Not only will you probably accomplish those things because it's a smaller task, but you'll find that you'll have more time throughout the day to do other things. One thing that I find is that when I have a long to-do list, I'm so focused on completing that to-do list that everything else in my life has a tendency to get lost. And we don't want your life to get lost. We want your life to have purpose. And so part of that is being able to find balance. And that's really what to-do lists are about. Some people make to-do lists about, just completing the tasks, which I'm all for. I'm a task girl. But what to-do lists really are about is finding balance in your life so that you're not attacking too much at one time and becoming overwhelmed. It's not good for anyone if you live like that. If you have children, it's not good for your children. If you have a husband, it's not good for your husband. If you have a job, it's not good for your job. The third thing is P for plant. Now, I am a lover of all things nature, all things natural, all things earth, but that's not what I am referring to here. What I'm referring to here is planting into the earth of people. And I know that sounds crazy and that sounds simple, but if you're noticing a trend here, the goal is to be able to remove yourself from yourself so that you can employ your life in a more powerful and meaningful way. So intentionally finding ways to help others, to help other people. And that might be the earth, that might be supporting a cause that, you know, helps the earth or global warming or whatever. But that could be something so much simpler. Helping out a friend, taking the time to stop and talk to a stranger on the street, or to a homeless person on the street who 10 or 15 people have walked by and ignored. Those are the little things that matter in the grand scheme of things, and that give our life more meaning. So, and I'm just going to read this straight from the blog because I think this is so important. And so it says, I found that it's usually in these moments when we connect with the deeper part of ourselves. In these moments, I mean when we are giving to other people. So I found that it's usually in these moments when we connect with the deeper part of ourselves, the part that is connected to our purpose. And I want you to hear this. We often get little clues as to what we're supposed to be doing with ourselves when we follow our heart, our instinct, curiosity, and set an intention to help others and plant seeds of love wherever we go. And then there's a little hint there that it's very hard to do without empathy. So everything has meaning. Everything that we do has meaning. It impacts someone, whether that's someone else or whether that's us. So when we're planting these seeds into the world, when we're planting these seeds into people, just take note. Take note as to what sort of gives you butterflies on the inside. What makes you feel, I don't really like using the word happy because it's kind of overused or misused rather, but what gives you that feeling of, oh my gosh, I would love to do this all the time. And sometimes it's not always the most lucrative thing to do, or not seemingly the most lucrative thing to do. But I promise you, if you are following that curiosity, if you are planting seeds into the world, you cannot go wrong. You will not be led astray. Trust me. You will find what it is that you're supposed to be doing, whether you find that out tomorrow by chance or whether you find that out 3 years from now. All is well. The next one is L for let go. Now this is so difficult for some people, and I'll even say it's difficult for myself from a physical standpoint, because, and I've been like this since I was a kid, I would, money specifically, I would hold on. My uncle would give me, or us, he would give me and my sister like $1 or $5, and he would say, go to the candy store and buy candy, which I don't know why he would give us $5 and say, go buy candy from the candy store. You guys know how cheap candy used to be back in like a cent? We're gonna buy $5 worth of candy from the candy store. Why do you do that? But anyway, so my sister, my older sister, who I love to death, but she would take her $5 and she would spend like 4 of it at the store. She would go to the store like my uncle instructed her, and she would spend her money on whatever she wanted to get in the store. When I say I would hold on to that $5, or whatever, if it was 50 cents, if it was $1, if it was $5, I would hold on to it. I don't even know where I would keep it, but I would have it like a month later, 2 months later, my mom would say, like, what happened to your dollar? Or did you put it in your bank? Or no, I still have it. I'm not like, and then she would say, why don't you just spend it? But my mom is kind of the same way. She'd be like, well, you know, uncle gave it to you for you to spend. And I used to say to her, well, what happens if I need it? What happens if I need it? And then I don't have $1. I don't know what that was about. But so I sort of have a problem with letting things go, and not like hoarder status, but like I love mugs, I love cups, I love you know, stuff that you drink out of. I don't know, they make me happy. So my husband always gets on me every time I bring in like a new mug, and I have to just reassure him that I'm going to throw a mug away. Like, I'll get a mug if one of my other ones are getting if they're deteriorating, or, you know, because I use the travel mugs obviously more often than I use the portable mugs. And so he'll just give me a look, like he doesn't really say anything anymore. He'll just give me a look like, are you seriously bringing another mug in here? But my point is, getting back to the point, is that dirt is dirt, right? Clutter is clutter. Whether that is physical clutter, like clutter in your house, or whether that's clutter in your mind, dirt is dirt. And I know it sounds wrong to kind of call the clutter of your mind dirt, but it is dirty. It's clogging up your mind. It's not doing you any good. So whether that is purging your closet, whether that is purging your kids' room because they have stuff in there that you can probably throw away, whether that is cleaning out under your sink, in your bathroom and in your kitchen, where y'all know y'all keep everything under the sink, whether that's cleaning out that the mail drawer that you have in your kitchen. Find some reason to get rid of something today. I promise you, you don't know how good I feel after I have purged stuff. Like, I feel so light and open. Yeah, open. Open is a good word. I feel open after I have gotten rid of stuff. And so if you do that with your physical stuff, can you imagine how much better, which is not the right terminology, but could you imagine how good you would feel if you were able to let go of any of the clutter in your mind? Whether that is something significant that might take you a while to get rid of, or whether that's something small, a thought that has been preoccupying your mind that you've just been kind of stuck on, that's not useful to you. It's not useful to you. It's not doing you any good. If it's not a productive thought, get rid of it. It's doing you no good. Okay, so that's that one. Let go. The next one is O, for outside. Get outside, you guys. I know it's difficult. For me, I'm kind of a routine person, so I can kind of get stuck in a routine, but I love being outside. I feel so at peace when I'm outside. Just from a physical standpoint, the sun is good. The sun is good for you. Okay, feed your vitamin D levels and all that. And people say, "Oh, I can sit by the door." It's direct sunlight that gives you all that vitamin D and things like that. So, just because you're in an office building and you have a window, okay, probably not good enough. But so being outside helps. It helps with your energy. It helps with your feeling of contentment. It really does. So get outside. And then here's the key. It's not just to go outside, but to really be outside, to be aware of your surroundings, to be aware of how beautiful it is outside. So for some people, just going outside, you know, sitting outside the house and soaking up the sun, that's good enough. For me personally, it might not be for you, but for me personally, I like being somewhere where it's visually stimulating. I like going to a beautiful park or driving with the windows open where I can feel the wind and feel the sun. And this is the perfect time now because spring is coming, the winter sad months are going away. I know it's kind of difficult to tell because like right now it's raining outside and it's chilly, but these months are coming where it's more beneficial than harmful for you to be outside. So get outside, experience the sun, experience the world, and really be present when you're outside, not on your tinker and, you know, texting and Facebooking and Instagramming. Just really be outside. Okay. And the last one is yourself. Employ yourself. Okay. And this might seem like the most obvious one, but it's not the most literal one, even though it's helpful. It is so helpful for you to have a job. Let's just be honest. We live in a world where you need money to survive. That's the world that we were placed in. Okay. Maybe it wasn't always physical money, you know, back in the day with the bartering systems and things like that. But now, the life that we live in, you need money to survive. So do not fool yourself and think that you can just sit on the bed all day and that's a meaningful life, right? Like, you need to be able to survive. Part of life is surviving. But other than that, what I really mean by this is employ yourself to be open, to be willing to change. You have to be willing to do the things that we're talking about. You have to be willing to get up and go outside, and when you're not feeling like it, or when you're feeling down, or when you're not feeling like being involved with anyone. You have to be willing to talk to people. Even if you're an introvert, I'm an introvert. I'm not a person that approaches people, right? But you have to be willing to plant seeds in other people. You have to be willing to go outside of your comfort zone. And if it is in your comfort zone, then you should have no problem. But you have to be willing to do these things, to change, to think differently, to motivate yourself when other people aren't motivating you. You have to be willing to try to have empathy for other people. This is what I mean when I say employ yourself. Employ yourself with a task. Any one of these tasks every single day. So that's the goal when you get up in the morning. Today, I may not be able to do all of the things, but today I'm going to intentionally try to be empathetic to those that I come in contact with. Now you have a goal for the day. That's a goal for the day. And I promise you, if you're led by one of these things each day, you'll see the difference in the change in motivation, the change in purpose. You'll start becoming more self-aware, and in turn start to find your purpose. And I'm going to read again straight from the blog here because I love this part. You know, it says, we have to be willing to be the change that we want to see in yourself. So you have to be willing to see the change you want to see in yourself. You've heard that term that quote by Gandhi where he says, be the change you want to see in the world. Well, you have to be the change you want to see in yourself. No one else is going to change you but you. No one else has that control. So you have to be willing to be the change that you want to see in yourself. So it says, without yourself as a willing participant in life, you will succumb to mediocrity and complacency. Do something unfamiliar, try something new, and put yourself out there. Life is given to us as a gift, but it is our job to make something of it or not. But the choice is always ours. So those are the tips that I wanted to leave with you guys today. Employ your life. E, have empathy. M, make to-do lists. P, plant seeds in the earth of people. L, let go. And Y, employ yourself. If you employ those things, at least one of those things, every single day into your life, I promise you, you will see a difference in perspective, a difference in purpose, a difference in promise. Try it, try it, try it, you guys. Okay, I challenge you, give it a try and tell me how it goes. Okay, you can let me know what you think. If you're using some of these tools, how it's going for you, you can leave comments down in the comment section. And subscribe, guys. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. You don't want to miss the information that's coming. I try to make it beneficial to everyone. So, but on that vein, leave me some comments about things and topics that you guys want to hear about, okay? Young women, moms, leave me some comments and let me know things that you guys want to hear about. I'm going to try to post weekly, a vlog weekly, and so click on the subscription button below, guys. Click on it, click on it, click on it. I know that you guys need this information and I want to give it to you guys. I know you guys know somebody who needs or could benefit from this information, so just share, guys. Share with the world. Click the subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram, Ambient Growth Coach on Instagram. You can find my Facebook page. It's Ambient Growth. It has a little sunflower. You can try to find me there. And then go to the website, www.ambientgrowth.com, and subscribe to the website so that you can keep up with the blogs if you guys like reading and maybe videos can get a little bit lengthy. Sometimes you can't pull up a video, but you can scroll through and read the blog. So go there, www.ambientgrowth.com, and subscribe to the blog so you can stay updated on events and workshops that I'm having. I'm going to be doing some pop-up workshops throughout. So that's all, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Be well.